Beautiful people of Instagram. Pow, pow. Let's do this. Pow, pow, pow. This is the world's greatest living artist, Jose Trujillo. I did not choose the art life. The art life chose me. So here we go, guys. I'm going to do a painting today. It's going to be an awesome painting. I'm going to do a sort of a vineyard, something like that. How's it going, everybody? Peace, beautiful people. I'm going to do a vineyard, sort of like a Sonoma wine country, something like that. Here's my coffee. Enjoy that coffee. And let's do this. Let's do this. We can get this done if we really want to. Let's do this now. So, I've been lost in the world of social media today. It's been quite the ride. I've never really been into like just I don't know, just commenting and going back and forth and whatnot. But I thought it was interesting. It was important for me to start doing that. I mean, I get back to people, right, that talk to me and on my other social media platforms and whatnot. I like to get back to people, but I never was a fan of like arguing and talking back and forth and being like, well, tell me your point and blah blah blah. But I've been lost. Those of you who've seen my videos, I was totally lost today in it. I was like, let me see what's going on here. And then it's just like this warp hole. It's like Donnie Darko. It's like, whoa, man. I went to like a dark place of strange comments and all sorts of weird stuff. What I'm trying to say is that I've been sharing my work on social media platforms, on Facebook platforms, where there's just all kinds of people. There's good people, and then there is really good people, and then there's trolls in the middle. and that's been a ride. So those of you who haven't tried that, I highly, highly, highly suggest to try it and get your muscle and your hustle muscle, not hustle muscle, your what would you call that? Your criticism muscle pumped up, because I was used to criticism. I just wasn't used to like blatant, like just people being upset. Because people are really chill here on Instagram. You guys are all chill here, and on YouTube every now and then I get someone being kind of rude or whatever. Very rare, but on the groups, man, it's a different beast. So yeah, let's get this going. Check it out. Bam. A little bit of that. So I hope that everybody's having a great day. I hope that Cyber Monday. Those of you who haven't hit Cyber Monday art sales and whatnot, you guys should probably check it out. I've been running an art sale for the past 2 days. And being Cyber Monday, I'm like talking about it. I'm like, dude, you gotta go check out this awesomeness. So yeah, check this out. Yeah, wine country, nice. And another thing also, guys, that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Those of you who don't know yet, I'm going to be doing a podcast with my wife, Lizette, the wonderful Lizette Trujillo. We're going to be doing a podcast, and it's going to be super awesome. We're going to talk about all kinds of cool stuff that we usually talk about, but this time around I think we're going to be able to go deeper, more, maybe more structured content, maybe more, I don't know. We'll see. I just know it's going to be awesome. So I'm going to keep you guys posted with that. I've been talking about it because I think it's important to first let people know what you're up to, and then be like, we got it. It's right here. Check it out. So I've been doing this with this little brush. It's a number 4 brush. It's a round brush. How's it going, Kathleen? Kathlina Corbett. This is a round number 4 brush. People have been asking me about the brushes. I'm going to do a little review on the brushes that I like to use. I like to use these white brushes. They have this little black tip right here where it holds the brush itself, right? They're called... Well, I'm going to do a little review in a little bit, but they're called Simply Simmons. I hope that you guys can read it right there. There you go. Sorry about the fuzziness. They're very cool, very affordable, and I love using them because you get, good value for the money. They're only about $3, $3-4, something like that. They're not expensive at all. I know some people worry about that, but I think you shouldn't worry about that. There's much more expensive brushes out there that I stopped using because I'm not a fan of that anymore. I used to love buying the most expensive stuff. I thought that was going to help me. It does make a difference to get good materials, good tools to work with, but as you start, progressing in whatever you're doing, you start realizing what you can cut out and what you can keep. And it's really cool when you start noticing that. You won't notice it probably the first couple of months. You start noticing that kind of stuff the more you do. So I'm talking about like a couple of years maybe into it. And then you really start noticing. Who knows, maybe you're blessed that you start realizing to cut out certain things. One of the things also that I noticed, especially talking about cutting things out, is brush strokes. You start cutting out brush strokes. This is a little hidden secret that a lot of artists don't talk about. It's called economy. It's called brush stroke or paint economy. It's referred to it as different ways, but one of the people that I really started studying and understanding how they work refers to it as brushstroke economy, right? What happens is that the more you do it, you start becoming, and this is not because you're trying to cut corners. Some people think that, and they're not well informed. You start doing that because it starts becoming second nature to do certain things and keep certain things out that you don't need. I believe that that's one of the reasons why a lot of the famous artists from like the 1940s, 1930s, even the 1920s, I guess somewhere in, they started going very loose and they started going very minimalist, right? I think that's one of the reasons why. I don't think that they started going minimalist and abstract just because it was the cool thing to do. I'm sure that some of that played in there, but I really have this strong feeling that they started learning about the more you do something, the more you start cutting out the fat, right? You start cutting the fat out, and you become lean with it, and that's one of the things that I really work towards. And it's not an easy task because there's days that I get really good at it and I know what to leave out, and then there's days that I need to get back to my zen, right? To my swing, the zone. And then in those times, it doesn't feel right, like I know how to leave something out, and I try to overdo and overpaint, and right. So it's something that you just kind of learn as you go, I think. But learning about economy and all that kind of stuff. Some artists do it academically, and I think that's really great. They learn about brushstroke economy from academic teachers, right? They're really good at it. A lot of academic artists know that. I think that's awesome if someone teaches it to you, but I think it's also really cool. Even if you learn it and time goes by, you're going to come up with your own economy. You're going to come up with your own economy to get the message across, right? To get the message across. I hope I'm not I'm not confusing anyone with this kind of talk. I'm really just talking about the more advanced you become in your craft, you know what to leave out. It's more important what you leave out than what you put in. Really, you start noticing those little subtle differences. So, with that being said, I must continue to do this. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Kathleen, I really appreciate it. I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly. So I'm going to also be doing videos where I'm going to show you guys step by step, because I know a lot of people have been asking me. They're like, come on, Jose, don't be stingy, man. Show us step by step. What are you doing, right? What do you do step by step? Like, how do I work the paint? How do I loosen up? How do I thin the paint itself? Because a lot of people don't know that, but if you're using paint straight out of the tube, you're either doing impasto or you may not know what you're doing yet. Because you're fighting against a force, right? You're not conditioning the paint to help you. So most of the artists that I know that are, especially the ones that are prolific, you got to thin that paint. You got to thin it, right? It's not necessarily watering it down to create, to save on paint. That's not the reason. It's to learn how to have the paint help you, as opposed to like it's hard on your wrist, right? When the paint is too thick, it's very hard on your wrist. So you have to create certain things, certain little things that help you. You have to start getting a little bit more. And these are not tricks, guys. These are things that artists do. These are things that I learned the hard way. And when I started looking at what, not just professional artists, because there's a lot of professional artists that don't have the experience of creating volumes of work. They just know how to create, they have a handful of really nice works. I like to pay attention to the artists who create volumes of work, because it tells me that they've gone through some level of pain to understand certain things, right? They've gotten through the hard knocks, right? So I like to pay attention to those. I like to, in other words, I like to study prolific artists, because it's the fastest path to understanding what to do and what not to do. They've already done it. They put many hours into it. So they tend to know a little bit more, or a lot more, depending on who you're watching. So this whole thing that I like to do is a little dance, right? It's loose, it's raw, it's a little dance. Glama says, do you pre-mix paint or pick up as you paint? I pre-mix paint. Always pre-mix paint. Oh no, I see what you're asking. I thought you were asking about what I just talked about right now, which is thinning the paint down to a viscosity that is workable. No, I don't thin paint. I used to. I was a portrait painter, and I used to pre-mix the paint for flesh tones and whatnot. I don't do that anymore. I get it out of the tube. I thin it to the viscosity that I need it to create the fluidity that I need, right? That works for me. Some days, the more fluid, the better. Some days, a little bit, the consistency or the viscosity has to be, if you can call it viscosity in paint, I don't know, a little thicker. And depending on what I'm using, if I'm using a palette knife, I don't want it too thin, right? But if I'm using a brush, I wanted a certain level of thin. And every paint reacts differently. So it's not by ratio. I know a lot of people want to know the secret formula, like the Krusty Krab, and a lot of people have asked me, like, what's the ratio? What's the ratio? It's not by ratio, guys, because all paint behaves differently. For example, a yellow will need, normally, especially depending on the brands too, not just the colors. For example, if you're using Winsor and Newton and you're using some of their pale cadmium yellows that I like to use, you're going to need probably more than a cup, probably twice as much oil as you would need for a lamp black or for a Viridian. Viridian, especially in that brand, hardly ever needs any oil. Just just a little drops of oil. So you learn those things. I mean, you really have to learn what is comfortable for you, and that's gonna take some time. You're not gonna get it overnight. I know a lot of people ask me, and that's why I can't give it to you, because it really depends. Like a lot of people ask me, like, what is the ratio, right? What is the ratio to mix the paint down? And it really just depends. What brand are you using? Like I use 3 different brands usually, for the most part, and I also I use different colors. When I don't have phthalo blue, I'm using French ultramarine, and when I don't have that, I'm using cobalt blue. So each one needs quite a little bit of different oil, right? Different volume of oil, and you kind of start memorizing that the more you do it. So that's why I tell a lot of you guys, like, don't get caught up in that kind of stuff. But that's not what you asked. I'm not saying that question is absolutely, it's a good question. Like, how do I pre-mix the colors or not? I don't pre-mix the color. That's a great question, because a lot of artists do pre-mix the colors. I don't like to. I don't have a formula for it, for pre-mixing colors. It's not a thing that I do. So yeah. I hope I'm making any sense to you guys today. I hope you guys are getting any value out of this. If you guys are, please share the love. Share some corazones, some hearts. Come on, give me some hearts, you guys. Be awesome like that. Be awesome with the hearts. I live with hearts here, like Tinkerbell with applause. My applause are the hearts in Instagram, or on Instagram. So this is my rendition of a wine country scene. By the way, all of my work is available on eBay, guys. All of my original work. I like to keep it in 1 or 2 platforms. I don't like to spread it out so much. So you'll find most of it, just about all of my work, on eBay. And this one is going to be up for auction. I believe, yeah, this is going to be up for auction. So go check it out when you get a chance. As soon as I finish it, I'm going to post it. So check that out. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. My dogs are going crazy. They're going bananas out there. They don't like each other. They're not my dogs. They're my kids' dogs. But I feel like they're mine, because I'm always feeding them and, making sure that their feelings are met. They get enough love. I feel like they do the same thing for me. They're like, how are you feeling, buddy? You feeling lonely, buddy? Are you lonely in the studio? I feel like they do the same for me. They're like super loving, unconditionally love them. Check that out. Yeah. Look at that. Ooh la la. Let's get those juices flowing. Let's get those juices flowing. Yeah. Let's get a different brush now. And yeah, check it out. Will you have a show in Toronto? I would love to have a show in Toronto. Yeah. I don't have one, but I'd love to have a show in Toronto. That'd be super awesome. Yeah, those of you guys who know art galleries or people that you guys may be interested in having my work in your city, in your country, I'm all ears. I'm always open. I'm always doing shows whenever it's possible. Whenever, if it's the right deal, right? It's the right deal. It's the right deal, and we make it happen for sure. So let me know, because I love doing that too. I'm not just a one horse, what do you call it? One trick pony. I don't just do online. I like doing different stuff. And yeah, Toronto sounds like awesome. I'd love to have a show in Toronto. Look at this. Look at that. Ooh la la. Muy precious. Oh man, there's a phone again. Sorry guys, for those of you who I feel like sometimes I get prank called. Every time I do a video, my phone rings. My studio phone rings. I feel like I'm getting prank called. So what's up, dude? That's karma for being a prankster when I was a teenager. It's karma. For sure. Look at that. And then you know, I feel like this whole painting loose is very zen. You know, I'm always talking about this kind of stuff, but I feel like you start realizing why you love painting when you speed up and slow down in certain places. You know, for me at least, I don't know. I start realizing why is it that I love painting. There's my phone again. I swear, I feel like I get prank called. And it's only during the videos, which is completely hilarious. It's never like when the video's over. Well, no, it's other times of the day, but it feels like it's only when the videos are on. Check it out. Yeah. If you guys have any questions, please, guys, I get back to people all the time. I'm always available. I'm not doing videos and then not getting back to people. I love getting back to people. If you guys have any questions, DM me. Those of you guys who want to do a what do you call it? Collaboration. Let me know. I love doing collaborations. I'm going to start actually going after that on YouTube as well, because there's a lot of people that we can exchange. We can exchange a lot of great value. You know, with doing collaborations, and I think that that's really cool. If you have a podcast, or you write articles or whatever, let's do something together. I'm always open to working with people and doing that kind of thing. I think it's extremely important. Yeah, check it out. And then now I'm going to get my palette knife. Okay, just because I can. Just because no one said I couldn't, so I was like, bam! Bam! Yeah, just like that one, that light that it's like, give me the light. All right? Even up here. Let's do that up here. All right. Look at that. Guys, my name is Jose Trujillo. I happen to be the world's greatest living artist. It happened that way. I don't know why. The universe conspired so that I could be the world's greatest living artist. And thank you so much. You guys have been an excellent, super excellent audience. You guys are really cool. I love those hearts. I love when you guys ask me questions because I love getting back to you guys. I think it's important. I think it's important to do the value exchange, right? Like I learn a lot from you guys. You guys ask some questions that I'm like, man, I never thought about that. Or you know what? I don't know that answer. Let me look into that, and then I go learn something new. So it's really cool. I appreciate it. Let me do a close-up because my wife told me not to be using the words money shot. I didn't know what that was. English is my second language, so I had no idea what that was. I guess that's like something naughty. She's like, I'm saying money shot. So I'm going to be calling it, thank you so much, Napoleo. Thank you so much. Napoleo says, you do a great work. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let me give you a close-up of this thing. Bam. There it is. Again, this is a loose rendition, okay, of a vineyard or vineyard, wine country somewhere around town. Aaron Jonas says, I've noticed that you use student grade paint yet produce fine works. How do you? Very simple. Very simple. Do not believe what people are saying out there about student grade. Student grade, it's highly pigmented paint, okay? I like using student grade because I paint a lot. So it's not always that I go and indulge on a $40 paint tube, one of those little $40 paint tubes. I don't do that all the time unless I really need a specific color for its pigmentation. But student grade it's I mean, it's just about every artist that I know that is a professional artist uses student grade. And student grade doesn't mean low quality because there are low quality paints out there. Don't use those unless you're practicing. Why not? But even for practice, I would recommend to start out on student grade because pigmentation is everything. Like if your paint is not pigmented, meaning that the color is there, that you don't have to like do it once and then go back and let it wait to dry and then do another coat. If you're doing that, unless that's your gig, that's cool. But if you're doing that because the color is not accurate or you're not getting the color you want, then switch to a higher grade paint. I love using different student grade paints. I also love using some of the higher ends. I keep some of them just again for certain colors that I really want. I don't use them in all my paints. I use them in more of my higher end works. The more expensive ones. Pinky Abscess, bunch of other Patrick, I guess. Yeah. Aaron Jones says, wow, I had no idea. Yeah, it really just comes down to the pigmentation. I know a lot of art snobs out there are like, no man, blah, blah, blah. That's because they don't produce enough work. They're producing probably like one painting a year and they're using like the best possible paint. I'm not into that gig. I'm into produce until you learn your swing. Produce. I'm into the Picasso approach. I love producing work. Because I believe in production is where you learn the swing, and if you want to be a marathon runner, right? I have a friend, I'm always giving this example. I have a friend who does like Ironmans and whatnot, that kind of high performance or type of running and exercise. It's not about the shoes. It's not about, it's not about the shorts that you're wearing or maybe even the place where you're doing it. I'm sure that plays in there. It's about the muscle, right? It's about the commitment and the muscle, and that's really what should be put in first, right? It's like the horses and then the carriage. I know I'm giving all these examples, but The reason why is because many artists that I talk to get caught up in the paint, and then they say, man, I don't have the right canvas. I don't have the right paint. For example, this is just a simple canvas. Look, this is just a very simple staples on back. Nothing super fancy. It doesn't have to be. I'm betting on the work. People that buy my artwork are betting on my artwork. They're not betting on the canvas. I don't have to use Belgian linen or linen canvases or whatever in order to prove that, that my stuff is better. No, you have to put in the work. I've been painting for over 20 years and working on my craft, and I know that. And I've been doing it full time for the past 6 years. And full time means that I've been. I know what you guys know full time, but let me explain to you a little bit of what is full time for me. It's anywhere between 8 and 14 hours of work, painting, and just drawing, watercolors, whatever, and it's just creating artwork all day for the past 6 years. That's how I support my family. That's how I'm working my small business here, and it really just comes down to work. So regardless of what you use, it's going to come down to how much you use it, and then start tweaking, right? You start tweaking, you start dialing it right to what works for you. So yeah, again, use any paint. I recommend just ask when you go to an art store. I need to use something that is somewhat pigmented. I can't use the cheapest, but I can't use the maybe you want to. I don't know, but I wouldn't recommend it. Not for practice. Somewhere in the middle. Student grade is perfect. So there you guys have it. My name is Jose Trujillo. Again, see right there, it says world's greatest living artist. Bam, the crowd goes wild. All right, guys, take care. I will be posting this on YouTube for those of you who are like YouTubers, because I know that my YouTube friends love watching these demos too. So go check it out. Those of you who are watching on Instagram and that are not following me on YouTube, come on, guys. What are you guys waiting for? Don't leave me hanging. Go check it out on YouTube. I have over 1,000 videos there, and they're fun. They're instructional, informational, and entertaining. They're really cool. Take care, guys. Adios.